Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Welcome to the new update to Train Sim Classic. As we are getting ready to continue with more gameplay in this very long-lasting and yet still not done game. You're going to notice I'm starting on the main menu screen today, and there's a reason for that. One of the things that you need to do once you actually get the update to this game, which everyone should have it by now, and many people have already done this, but if you haven't played it yet since the update, you want to make sure you go to the settings menu, you want to go to the tools, and then you want to go to clear cache. Now, you might be wondering why I'm suggesting you need to clear the cache. It's been reported that frame rates actually go down because of all the changes to core files. And any blueprints that already exist from stuff you've already played will be affected by this. Now, if you go to routes you haven't played, they probably would be just fine, but or use trains that you haven't played with yet. But anything you already played would be possibly slowed down until you clear the cache and let the game rewrite those cache files based on the new core files. This is important because this is a game upgrade from way back in a 2010 version of the coding, now all the way up to 2022 version of the coding. So this clearing cache is necessary. Now you can say once the cache is cleared, do you want to restart the game? You can say yes, it'll start you probably in 32-bit. I'm going to say no because I'm going to restart in 64-bit. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to restart the game. I'll see you in a second. Alright, that is completed. Now you're going to notice that I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's video that people are having problems with these little images over here. These two obviously didn't have a problem because they're DTG items sold on Steam. But I did have a problem with one image that I found in Southwestern Expressways, the original version of the route. So what I learned after having that problem and having the game hang on me, I had to force quit and everything. Make sure if you do have an image that decides to hang the game when it loads, especially if you go to click on this so you go to the route menu, it will definitely happen if you load the route menu. So we're just going to go ahead and bring up London to Brighton again because that makes my life a little easier. So we'll do that. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up by train view this time. But if you find any images that do fail when you go into that menu view and they hang the game, look at the routes that are on your screen as the game hangs. Figure out if there's any you need to look at. Find those routes, and you can use Steam Workshop. You can use the source route where you download the site to find the download and find the folder ID for the route. You can dig in, look at the image. What you typically have to do is open the image, resave it. Now, Three Country Corner is one of those that apparently causes the problem. That's a Just Trains route. Apparently, because that one comes in an AP file, if you buy it through Steam, you'll need to create a new version of the image and save that in the same location that you would have the other image until the route is updated with a new image, in which case it won't be a problem anymore. But fix has been identified. You need to save some images because the interlaced format they save in various editors like GIMP or other apps. Maybe Photoshop at one point did this, but you have to turn it on if you want to do that. Those kind of things do not work properly with the game at present and may not work anymore going forward. We don't know. And it's really up to DTG to make that determination. But if you save the image in a regular editor like the good old Windows Paint, you're not going to have a problem with the image. The only thing you want to check is it's a 2-to-1 ratio because it will fit better inside of here. And once you have that figured out and you have it saved, then you shouldn't have any problems going forward. So I have seen a 10.1 megabyte image, about 3,300 pixels wide, and I'm like, well, no wonder your game crashed. You know, shouldn't have something that big, or especially a whole bunch of them, because that will slow down your pages when you go through the maps. We're going to go through the routes, or also for locos, because locos can have those images too. It will really slow things down. You don't need a 3,300 pixel image in a 256 times 128 box. Wouldn't you agree? In any case, let's go find our scenario that we're doing here today. I had it highlighted earlier, and Seaside Tour is right there again. So we're going to go ahead and play Seaside Tour. You notice, again, I'm ignoring Black Ice for now because that's a career scenario. I feel like just taking it easy today. And yes, it's a career scenario over in the career tab, not on this tab. But I want to take it easy today. My Centenary Pack is still not in functioning order. I'm going to get that sorted out. I do hope to have that back and or have that working and playable by next week. So maybe by next Friday I'll be able to give you a couple scenarios from that, which was my original plan. I'm going to do this scenario today, and I'm going to try to circle back to another route, maybe Pegnitz-Stolban, to do a couple more scenarios, see how that route runs in the updated code. And we're going to, of course, go through all sorts of other routes as well, because, again, the code's going to be changed for all of them, not just these two. So we'll see what kind of performance improvements we get. I will bring up the FPS counter at some point during this scenario to give you an idea what I am running. Let's get started. Today you will be running the Flying Scotsman rail tour from Brighton to London, Victoria. Stop at 3 bridges, East Croydon and Clapham Junction to pick up additional fans and allow for photos. Good luck! Okay, so we have to pick up passengers here. We didn't start pause, which is unfortunate. But, yeah, I believe I've opened the doors. I believe I've opened the... Nope, we're just going to 3 bridges. Okay, never mind. We don't do anything here. We have a red signal anyway, so we can't go yet. You can see if we pop out over to up here. I'm on this track, and the signal is red for me, so I kind of can't go anywhere yet anyway. What I will do is I will give a slow approach to this signal. I'm just going to make sure I don't pass it in the meantime. So let's get in the cab, and we're going to bring up the proper HUD here. And we're going to go ahead and get ourselves moving just slightly. Not much. Stick the head out the window. Once we're allowed to move at a further pace, we will do so. As always, I have the automatic fireman turned on, just as a convenience thing. And in Train Sim World 2, you cannot play the fireman. You have to actually, you basically have a guy you watch in the cab doing the shoveling for you, poking his head out the window when he's not busy shoveling the coal. And he basically does some of that work, all that work for you in the water. I guess he does the water somehow as well, which I don't know where he gets the water from, but apparently he does that too. So the steam activity is all taken care of in Train Sim World. But in this game, we don't actually see the guy in the cab. We just know that he's doing the work. We have a yellow signal, and signal M. I have wheel slip because apparently I moved too quickly on the regulator. But we will solve that problem by taking it down, and off we go. I still have wheel slip. It's a rainy day. I guess this is going to be a regular problem. So we have a straight yellow signal. It did not upgrade before we passed it. That's fine. Because I know we have the yellow signal anyway, we don't want to go too fast for the time being, just to make sure we don't blow past a red. So we are kind of... going to just enjoy ourselves for a moment and just carry on. We have a train out the other window here, which we're going to look at coming in. You can see they have their names, Preston Park to Brighton. That's a very simple service, apparently. So he's going by on our right. We're getting sandwiched in between the two. There we go. Excellent. We're not taking that track because we wouldn't have been cleared on here if we were taking that track, so we're all fine. It looks like we have a yellow signal. Now, something that I need to point out is that I'm going to have to listen. I'm not going to be able to hear the alerter from out here, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on the HUD, and I'm going to have to watch for the exclamation mark to light up over on the right, or I can just keep hitting Q and take care of the problem immediately. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up a little bit here. So I might hit Q a few times before I actually need to hit the signal. I'm just going to do it just to be safe. Oh, we got a green, so I don't have to anymore. Perfect. We're green now. So that means I can speed up all the way. Bring the regulator down, or the reverser down. That should help me gain speed. And again, because I am the front of the train passes, it turns red immediately. It looks like I'm passing a red. I assure you I am not. Let's get in the cab for a moment and take a look at around the cab, obviously. We don't have any cab lights or anything in here, but this is what it looked like in the cab. We don't have any wipers either, so we can't do anything with the rain in here, unfortunately. We're just going to have an obscured view at this point. Maybe we don't have an AWS. Maybe this train... Oh, we do. There's the AWS. We're good. So that means we're going to have a green showing up in the window over here. And here comes the green right now. You can see it right there. And again, it turned red as we passed it. So as you can see, there's not much of a view in here. So because this is a cab ride video, in a sense, I'm going to keep the view outside so you can actually see something besides just the inside of the cab and glowing embers on the ceiling. It's a much better view like this, wouldn't you agree? There we go. We're passing Preston Park. And we should be able to see any yellow signals from up here. So if we see any yellow signals, we can hop back in the cab for a moment as we need to. But typically we can control the train from out here as well, so it should not be an issue. There seems to be a yellow signal there, so we're going to keep an ear on that. Nope, turn green. So we are stopping at Three Bridges as our first stop today. That will be in about 19 minutes or so. We have to arrive by 17:24. That is our due time. We have to be at 17:44 for East Croydon, and we have a couple more stops after that. So moving back to this side, you can see we have a green signal, insta-red again. Now, something I commented on last time as we're about to go in the tunnel, I'm going to probably get pushed in the cab as we go in the tunnel, so I'll do that. Is that, and I did that myself anyway, if you happen to have the Armstrong Powerhouse Signal Enhancement Pack, you're going to find that those signals probably are enhanced, so they will stay green as you pass them, and then after a few seconds, we're getting our yellow. After a few seconds, you'll be able to, can I see the signal? I didn't. Uh-oh. I didn't see the signal. In any case, we'll zoom in for a while just to make sure. So, if you happen to have that signal enhancement pack, what's going to happen is you're going to see the signals do the thing that they normally do in real life, which is basically flash after a while and then turn red at a normal pace that you would expect in real life. So that's what's going to all be possible with the signal enhancement pack, and I believe these signals it applies to as well. We can now have a green signal, so we don't have any issues anymore. We are happy at this point. So the other track is red. We can put the regulator back up, and away we go again with a green signal. So if it's not obvious at this point, we're following someone. Let's poke into the map for a second and take a quick look where we are. And if we continue to look up here, we are effectively following this guy, the Brighton to London. So he's going to London ahead of us. And he's probably making a stop up here, so we might actually have to wait for him. We have a double yellow anyway, so we're going to want to make sure we don't... oh, we just turned green. Okay. I'll wait until we actually see a yellow, in which case I will... or until we pass one, in which case I'll worry about slowing down. But for right now, as long as we see greens, we're happy. This is the Clayton Tunnel, I believe, here, coming up, so we're going to go ahead and get back in the cab as we go through. That is a green signal. We have some kind of a signal. It is a double yellow, and it looks like it stayed double yellow. So I'm going to ease the regulator off. Because I am going over 90 miles per hour, I might have to slow down just a little bit. But I'm going to let it go down on its own if I have to do that. For now. I'm going to see what happens to the next signal. It is a yellow right now of some form. Looks like a double yellow, so it has upgraded. And it just went green, so off we go at full speed again. We're getting yellow again up here, but it may upgrade. It did upgrade. Another train over there. And another yellow. So we're chasing yellows the entire way here, it looks like. If you see straight green signals ahead, you're probably late. And you're probably failing. We need to try to get the... we need to try and get ourselves into a situation where we are catching the signals while they're actually yellow. Because I think that's what the is going to cause us to gain time. In fact, right now we are gaining time at 85. So that's exactly what we need to do right now. We need to try to maintain time on what we can get here. Now, I'm tapping Q repeatedly, so I want to make sure I didn't have an emergency brake on that double yellow. That is another double yellow signal at this time. Again, we upgrade to a double yellow signal before we got to the single yellow. I almost forgot to respond to that exclamation point, but we got it. Thought I did respond to it earlier. So the repeater says the signal is clear. Double yellow qualifies as clear. And there's a stopping point for all trains, it looks like. So that means that the signal 9/10 of a mile away is red. Looks like that is currently a single yellow up ahead, so I may need to slow down just a little bit here. I can see clearly the signal after this is red, so I'm going to put a little bit of a brake on. Nope, I'm not going to really brake, but I'm going to leave the speed coming down a little bit because I know that I'm starting to catch up to this train. Because I'm starting to catch up to this train, I'm going to slow it down to maybe 80 for right now. Just to prevent having any problems here. Notice I've been zoomed in this whole time too. So that's why I have such a good view of the signal, and that's why we're not getting the instant red as we pass it here. So if I stay back here, you can see I get the instant red treatment. And I managed to not respond to the signal in time, it looks like. You know, I swear I pushed it. I swear I pushed it. This is not what I need right now. This is going to cause me to fail the scenario. This is fantastic. Well, that can happen, ladies and gentlemen. And when that happens, you basically need to get the train going again as quick as you can. So as soon as I'm allowed, I'm back up to 100%, and that's going to be that. There we go. Let's get it going quickly. Brakes are coming off. We're going to get going as quick as we can. But at least the good news is we're now going to have all green signals because that signal is going to turn green ahead of us. That's not exactly good news, though, because the sudden emergency brake means that we've now lost all of our speed. And even though the signal is green, we're at 5 miles per hour. There is a very good possibility that we're going to be late on this now. So we have to catch up to those yellow signals, and we only have 10 minutes to get up to speed. So I'm trying to bring the train back up to speed as quick as I can. Now with a 28% reverser there. And we are indeed losing time now. You can also see the daylight is doing its own thing. The Armstrong Powerhouse weather pack, of course, changes how the light behaves. So it is kind of going in and out quite a bit here, and I guess that's normal. I've seen it in other routes ever since installing that pack as well. It's also possible I may have to actually reinstall it because some of the core files might have been updated. I don't think those files were changed, though. They still seem to be behaving as they did after I installed the pack. I don't know. I don't know. So our speed... Oh, we're actually showing an ETA that is actually favorable right now. We're still going to be a minute early, it looks like. This is good. That said, we are 9 miles away from the Three Bridges. We are not anywhere near mile-a-minute pace right now. So this is mildly annoying. I need to get back in the cab because that doesn't look right. There we go. I think that was Wivelsfield, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we're now reaching the mile-a-minute pace, so this is an improvement for us. We are coming to about 8 miles to go. The problem is we need to gain a little bit more speed right now so that we can start gaining back some of that time we lost with the emergency brake. We won't be able to see yellow signals in the meantime, I don't think. But we do want to at least get our time back. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you don't seem to see the red signal from the green most of the time. We can zoom in this far, obviously, but then we don't look like we're moving much at all. So I'm going to stay zoomed out maybe about this far. That's a good view right here, I believe, for our purpose. Again, I can zoom all the way back here, but then you see the signals changing. So this will be good. I think we're still going to see the signals changing. Some of them anyway. Yeah, that one we saw, so I'll zoom in one more level. This view seems to hold when you go back in the cab, by the way. You come back out and it's just fine. I find that interesting. So I think we're now at about 5 miles per 4 minutes, something along that line. This is the viaduct, and I've forgotten the name of it. I have literally forgotten the name of this viaduct. But as we pass this green signal, I believe on this side of the track we see a line that's going to head out at some point. There actually is a route on UK Train Sim, and I don't know if this route will be posted anywhere off of UK Train Sim. I do know that UK Train Sim is closing in August. The line that this connects to, the line that goes off is actually leading back into the station where it meets, and then that is the terminus, one of the many termini of that route. So that's an interesting thing, that this entire route beyond where the track will eventually junction off. Maybe we're not at that point yet. I thought we were further along than we are. But when we get to it, I'll try to show you once I see a green signal. There's a green signal. So, showing you where we are right now, if we come up to... Oh, it's actually all the way back here. This route is actually on UK Train Sim, heading all the way over to here and having more stuff over there. So... I don't remember the name of it, East Grimstead or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't sound right. But you can find that route on UK Train Sim right now, at least until August. and hopefully somewhere else in the future. So we're going to continue to have green signals here, obviously. We lost all of our yellows. We have an 80 coming up, so I'm going to let the speed ease back a little bit here. Three Bridges is now 4 miles away. We are at a good enough speed that we should be able to pull in and stop, I believe. I'm going to try to maintain 80, which means I'm putting some regulator back on, but not enough to try to gain speed. Into the cab I go for a moment. So we're going to try to hold at this speed right now. There is a 90 coming up again, but I'm probably not going to be able to do much with that 90. So we're crossing the 90. That 0.1 will not be counted against us. But we got down to 80 anyway, so we're fine. We're losing a little bit more speed than I intended here. That yellow is not applying to us, it looks like. That's a different line. We have a green up ahead. And there's another train coming from the other line. There's Three Bridges. We need to get ready to slow down, so we're going to start doing that. We're about a mile away, which is actually perfect. We're good for our timing right now, so we should be able to make this stop. I do see a yellow signal up ahead, so we are going to be held for a moment at that signal. We're not, take that back. No, that means the signal at Three Bridges itself is probably a single yellow. This would be a double yellow. It just turned green, so I'm not going to be held, or I'm not going to be cautioned at all now, which I'm happy about. My procedure says pick up. It does not say stop. It just says pick up, which would be accurate. So I'm going to increase the brakes now. That'll help bring the speed down nicely. That signal again may upgrade by the time I reach the platform, but if not, I just have to respond to it with the cue and we're done. Increasing the brakes a little more because we are going to have a little bit faster of an entry than I want to. The train should still be able to stop. That train just arrived. I think the doors just opened on it. Okay, we're adding more brakes because now I need to stop. Look at that. I'm going to say that's perfect. Look at that. For a steam engine, that's perfect. Arrival at Three Bridges, platform number 4. Leaving Three Bridges. We will be bypassing Gatwick Airport. Our next stop is East Croydon. There's a Gatwick Toulouse North train coming in. Again, we already passed the signal. We're going so slow, the signal turned red as we passed. Very, very noticeably. Okay, we got our steam generation at 33% from the reverser right now. That is good enough. Our arrival time at East Croydon is 17:44. We have a little less than 19 miles to do that, which means we need to make some time going 90 here if we want to make sure we're on time. We also have to not hit or not fail to hit the alert at yellow signals. That would be very helpful. Good news is I did get my check mark, so yeah, we're good. So I said I would bring up my, let's see who this is. Going to Horsham. That's going off on the Ultra track from Three Bridges. So I said I'd bring up my my FPS at some point. Let's see if I can remember the keys to do that. That's not it. There it is. So I'm running a nice smooth, I think that says 62 right now. That is pretty good for this route. I am actually happy with 62 right now. So I could be capping it at 60 to ensure I maintain good recording quality. I'm bouncing between the 50s and the 60s, but I am definitely getting good FPS. So that's why this route appears to be very smooth, because I am getting good speed on this route. Now, if I were to go to Long Island Railroad later, you're going to see that sometimes it's not that rosy, and that is a good example of that. I haven't tried it yet with the update. This is actually the first scenario I've played since the update went in. So I can't say anything about any other routes yet. All I know is about the image problem because I had the image hanging on the menu. That's all I know about. Of course, resetting the FPS, I'd heard reports that doing that will fix things as well. So that's why I brought up those two specific things, because I've seen reports of those. But other than that, I haven't had any experience with this update yet aside from this scenario, and so far I have seen, well, there's a little lag right there. So while I'm having smooth gameplay, and I think I always had the smooth gameplay on London to Brighton, it has not been a problem on the Brighton main line, there have been those points just like back there where there was a noticeable lag spike. And when that noticeable lag spike happens, it shows up. That has not been addressed in this update. Now, I don't know when those are going to be addressed. All I know is that those kind of spikes and how things are loaded are meant to improve in future phases of updating the core. And we're not being left behind on that. Regardless of what happens with future content, which we obviously won't know until they announce it, DTG that is, or other developers. Regardless of what happens with future content, we know that the core is going to be set up to work better. It's just a matter of time as to when. I don't know how long this is. I want to say it's at least 3 years, maybe 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I don't know if that information was announced or not, but at least 2, because we already had 1 go by. So yeah, it's going to be nice when those lag spikes get smoothed out by new improvements in how tile loading is done. I hope that's what happens. I would love to have this game go smooth as butter. And while there will still be the occasional lags even in that circumstance, at least having the easy to fix ones ironed out by improvements in how things are loaded would be very, very nice to have. I still have a lot of lag playing Train Sim World 3, unfortunately, and I think part of it is figuring out the proper graphics settings to play the game in. That's one of the reasons I have not gone back to finish Nieder Talbot or brought up the Midland Mainline route yet, even though I decided I want to try that out. I want to also look at the American routes. All those are planned. I'm thinking of the Trenton route when I say that, by the way. All of those are planned. I just have to figure out the right settings to put my game at to give myself a smooth gameplay. Either that or buy an i9 computer. I don't know which yet. We'll figure out. We'll figure it out. I just got decapitated by that signal. Because there's a track right next to us, we're getting decapitated by signals on our track now. So I'm going to avoid being decapitated this time. Actually, it's not lined up to decapitate me this time, so I'm happy about that. I think there's some clouds in the sky up there from what I can tell. That looks like signal 218. I think that was a T218. Now you have an 80 speed limit coming up, but my speed has not gone up to 80 yet. Maybe I need to lower my reverser just a little more to get that. But because I'm actually looking at an 80 speed limit coming up, I'm fine with that. I don't mind. My pace of travel right now is also better than I need it. So I can just stay at 80 the whole way, at 79 rather, and I'm going to be good. I can just stay at 79, I'll gain a couple more minutes. So this can stay exactly as it is, and I'll be very happy. So we're now under the 80, which is fine because we're only going 79. We are taking a little bit of a downhill here. This might increase our speed. We're taking the quarry line. So tunnel coming up. Let's get in the locomotive again. We are indeed gaining a little speed, but that's fine because we're in a 90 once again. We can tolerate that. So this means that we're now past the Red Hill area. We are now going on the quarry line. We're going to miss Merstham and another station along that line, or two. So we're going to look outside again. In fact, let's look over on the other side for a moment. It just pushes. Okay. I'm losing speed now on what appears to be an uphill. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring my reverser down a little bit, see if that helps. I don't think it is going to help, though. Steam engines are not able to maintain speed up hills like that. Not this kind of speed, anyway. They can get to it in the flats, but if you're starting on an uphill, you're going to have a hard time moving. Timetables back in the day of Steam had a lot more time involved. You couldn't have as many services because it was harder for a train to get where it needed to go sometimes. So I almost feel like some of the lines might have been closed on the basis of there's no way to get trains to go through this area. It's not a reliable service. Nowadays, with the electric trains that you have nowadays, put an electric line along there and you could probably run a very efficient service through some areas that might otherwise have had problems in the past. So it's a shame that some of the lines closed for revenue reasons when later on they could have been just fine. But such is the evolution of trains, I guess. I think we're going over the Red Hill line right now, so we're going to go under another bridge here. And into another tunnel. So you know what that means. Bing! Now, why do I do that? Because, well, actually this looks okay right now, but you could be in a situation where you have the graphics. Actually, this tunnel looks fine, but some tunnels have had graphics cutting in, and you find that, and you saw it on one of these tunnels in this scenario as well, where you just see graphics on the outside of the tunnel that just don't make sense. East Croydon is 7.5 miles away. We have 8 minutes to make that stop. We're in really good shape, even with the uphill slowdown. This is a long tunnel. There we go. We see another green signal here. And again, as usual, we can see all the... well, that road ended. That kind of ruined the immersion, didn't it? We know we have a clear signal up ahead already, but there's a repeater anyway, in case you were following yellows. That might have been where the line was. I'm not 100% sure. We're gaining a little speed again here. Oh, we have yellows! Need to watch out now. That might not be our yellow, though. Yeah, we're green. Just a reminder, I might be doing the Pegnitz Talbot line on Tuesday if I manage to put a video out in time for Tuesday. Again, I am going to be gone for a chunk of next week because I'm going to be attending a couple of hockey games. Also going to be meeting up with some family. It's going to be nice to have a few days to relax and chill and have some fun. We are skinning our hair against the wall right now, and there we go. We're out of that. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing the Pegnitz Talbot. I'm going to probably record those videos before I leave. I'm not going to be able to get the Centenary Pack working based on the fact that DTG works Monday to Friday, not Saturday. I'm not going to be able to get the Centenary Pack resolved by the time I need to be gone. So doing a Pegnitz Talbot scenario or two seems to be a possible option. I might just do one for now, and then come back and show you some Centenary Loco Pack on the East Coast Main Line. Another good excuse to go the East Coast Main Line. Why not? And head up to Peterborough again with that train. So we're going to see what kind of stuff is in those scenarios. And from that point, I'll show you a couple of those scenarios. Not the entire pack of 10, but a couple of those scenarios. And then I'll find something else to show off, and we'll move from there. I'm already looking at, in a couple weeks, doing the Huddersfield. I might actually push this up by a week, just to give me a little bit of leeway here. Now that I could probably do that on Tuesday, except I want to show off Pegnitz Talbot again. So after Pegnitz Talbot, I might actually go and show the 802 series of scenarios that I am looking at. I have that in mind. So that way I get a couple career scenarios done, and then we can move on to have some fun again. This is Purley, I believe, based on that sign. So we have 3 miles to go until East Croydon. We have a 60 coming up. I'm going to bring the regulator down to nothing, which is especially important because we're on a downhill. Now you saw a speed sign there. I believe that was for a junction. Now the 60 is going to turn into a 45, probably a 30. You see a train over there. That is a train to Lewes North. This will be Purley Oaks, I believe. Yep. Next will be South Croydon. I'm not getting enough slowdown on this, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit just to be sure. Yeah, we are getting down to 30. I did remember that correctly. 30 is a good speed for entering the platform anyway. That's actually the maximum I want to be. 25 is probably ideal for a steam engine. But 30 is the maximum I would want to be entering a platform at. Nope, I did not mean to take the brake completely off. Ooh, that was a weird light change. So now we're entering the 60 just as we get down to it, but we're not done slowing down yet. We have to continue down to 45. This would be South Croydon. I'm going to need a little bit more brakes to bring this train down to speed properly. I do have a couple minutes leeway here, which is really nice. I have been keeping to what is a very slack timetable here. I'm actually happy with how slack it is, being a rail tour. Still strange that we have a timetable on a rail tour. I might not be down quite to the proper speed here. Nope, I think I'm going to be. I'm good. But we got to get down to 30, so let's not forget to get down to 30. So heavier brake to get down to 30. We have a green signal on our track. Now I'm going to ease the brakes off. Quite a bit, actually. Because we're down to 30. That is our speed limit. Let's look on this side because that's the platform we're coming in on. Platform number 1. So I'm going to add more brakes at this point. Actually, I need a lot of brakes now, so we're going to put the brakes on very heavy. Came in a little bit too fast there. But we brought it back, and I think the signal's going to stay green as we come to a stop. Look at that. Signal remains green. Doors are open at East Croydon, platform number 1. Leaving East Croydon, our next stop is Clapham Junction, our third stop today on this journey. The last chance for some rail fans to hop on and see what it's like inside a Mark I coach being hauled by a Flying Scotsman. We're now at a speed limit of 60 miles per hour, increasing from the 30 through 45 that we just had as we left the station. Our maximum journey on this section will be 70 miles per hour. Make sure to like this video, by the way. Make sure you do subscribe if you want to see more content. I'm looking at possibly doing the Peg-Nitzelbahn again, because I have some scenarios that are incomplete on that, but I'm also debating whether to move to doing the 800 series of scenarios, or the 802 series of scenarios that I came upon in the workshop. It'll get me across 3 different routes, including a custom workshop route, the modern version of the East Coast Main Line from DP Simulation. Would be the third of those scenarios. So I'm actually considering doing that as my next series instead of going back to the Centenary. But And that's the reason is because I know, as we pass Sawhurst, the reason I know is because I'm not going to have my Centenary Pack working by the time I need to get videos published for next week as I'm recording this. So I want to at least get one scenario done, possibly introducing a series, or, again, back at Peg Distelbahn. I don't know yet. I could do another Black 5, but why? It would allow me to finish this pack. I could do that, but then we're going to see just way too much Black 5. So I kind of want to do the 802, get a look at 3 different routes, and after getting a look at those 3 different routes, that'll give me the ability, as I need to actually change my Steam here, it'll give me the ability to go ahead then and get a look at those 3 routes. And the ones I'm looking at are Liverpool to Manchester, Huddersfield, which is in the trio anyway, and again, the East Coast Main Line DP Simulation version. We will be missing a leg of the journey between York and Leeds, or I should say Leeds and York, and we don't get to see Neville Hill or anything like that, but it is possible that I may decide to do that, because that would be a nice series of scenarios to do. I think we passed Thornton Heath now. If we did, then Norbury is next. Another train coming along the distance. That is a train heading for Horsham from Streatham Common. That's a train that just started its service. It's literally the 2nd station from here. There appears to be another line there that... oh, actually, no, that's the split for the station. Never mind. This is probably the station split. Warbridge. So we didn't quite get to 70 miles per hour. We are going to have to cut ourselves back as the 60 approacheth. This is indeed Norbury coming up. We're going to be following that by Streatham Common. So I'm going to cut the speed at 65. We're going to let it shrink a little too quickly, actually. Let's hold it for a while. Or let it reduce gradually if I can. Never mind, we're on a downhill. That's not going to work. Okay, we're on a downhill. We're gaining anyway. I guess we're going to have to use the brakes. So much for perfection. Says the guy who always wants to do things perfectly. Gonna move my view at this one to give you guys a better view here. I need to get this down to 60, so let's apply some more brakes here. There we go. That'll do the job nicely. That'll work. So we're going through Streatham Common right now. You're going to see a line as I decapitate myself. Let's get out that view for a moment. We're going to be passing... No, I think we already passed Streatham Common. I didn't even see the station go by. We're just in the 60 now. I was busy trying to manage the speed. So yeah, I missed Streatham Common. Here's a building. I assume that's some kind of a hotel or something. It'd be a luxurious apartment building for a railroad track. Let's just say that. So now we're on our way still to East Croydon. The next station we're going to see is Balham, then Wandsworth Common, then we'll be at Clapham Junction. We have to be at Clapham Junction in about 6 minutes. We have about 3 miles to go. Plenty of time. And platform number 12, I don't see any speed limit reductions yet. We're still a mile away, but I think we're in the area where, on 12, where speed limits don't drop. I hope that's the case. We're losing a little speed here, so we're going to reapply a little bit. Not that I need to. I mean, I already concluded I can go 30 miles per hour for the next 6 minutes, if I want to. All the signals in this section should be green, by the way. We are not following anyone anymore. The train we were following is probably at London Victoria already. You see the green signal right there. So here's where we merge into part of the South London network, which, I mean, this is the South London network too, so it doesn't matter. This is Balham. I am speeding. That was an accident. It was only a slight speed, but it was a speed, and I went back to speeding somehow. That's going to count as 2 speeding penalties, unfortunately. The good news is I don't have to show you how badly I did. This is not a career scenario. I don't have to show you anything. There's another train which is just going to go by there. Right in our view. I like that. This is now Wandsworth Common. I can keep the throttle off now. There is a downhill here, so I'm going to actually watch my speed. We still have 3 minutes to make our stop, so we're doing okay. I can apply a little bit of a brake here. Just to make sure we don't blow through. 50, I'll take the brakes off until I need to apply them further. That'll do. Another train. Let's see who that one is. That one's going to Tulse Hill. And brakes are off, but I'm still losing speed. That's okay. We have time. Okay, this is where I'm going to start applying the brakes. 0.2 of a mile out from the entrance of the platform. I didn't want that many brakes. Okay, using the brakes off again now so I can come in at a decent pace. And a little more because we can slow down a bit more now. Why not? We should be on this platform, by the way. Now we'll put a little bit more heavier brake on. I did not want wheel slip there. That was a very bad braking setup. I'm going to actually go past the end of the platform. I was not trying to wheel slip, but I did. Too much brake. That's why my wheels were slipping. Anyway, arrival at Clapham Junction platform number 12. Tulse Hill service coming in from Battersea, which is actually right around where we're going next. Not stopping, just going. Leaving Clapham Junction, our next and final stop is London Victoria, which is the end of the line. We're going to have to be a little careful on this. Oh, by the way, did anyone ever notice these guys over here? Making tea taste better. Diesel tea. Lovely. Anyway, let's get back on this side of the train. Actually, never mind. We're going to stay over here after all, because we're going to be climbing this way in a moment. We might as well keep an eye on that. So just double checking our task list here. We do have all of our check marks to this point. The question now is, can we get in London Victoria without messing up? It's very easy to mess up if you're fooling around outside the cab as you approach London Victoria, because you will have 2 yellow signals to deal with. A double yellow, a single yellow, and then a red in the platform itself, which in a standard scenario just brings you to stop quicker. Maybe not where you want, but quicker. Of course, in reality, you normally would not want to come to a stop like that. You could get in trouble for doing that, actually, I'm pretty sure. Unless there's a good reason to hit it. Like someone walking on the tracks, which... yeah, that would be a good reason to hit it. Okay, let's not speed. So I'm at 45 miles per hour. That is our speed limit. And let's get back to this view, which has more scenery. This has more track. Which do you guys like better? Let me know if you want. I like the building coming up in the distance there. I know the scenery is very, very much different than what it was, 10 years ago, which is when this was modeled. A lot more activity. Some of the tracks are even different now, but there's a lot more scenery along here now, too. This is the Battersea Park station. So we're going to have one more green signal coming up, which if I go to the other side in a moment, we're going to see. So here we go. You can see that other green signal right there. That's our last green signal. The next two signals will be yellows. Double yellow and single yellow. I have the regulator off as I do not want to apply any more power at this point. All I need to worry about doing is getting the train to a stop properly at the station. By the way, Clapham Junction was quiet, wasn't it? There wasn't a lot going on there. That was kind of unusual. Okay, I respond to the first one. We have a 20 coming up, so I'm going to actually apply brakes to get ready for the next one before I see any other yellow signals, which I have to respond to, like the one coming up here. I'm not low enough. I got the response to the signal, but I need to get my speed down. I am nowhere close to where I need to be. I am blowing my way past the signal, guys. Yeah, just by a couple miles, but still blew past it. I still blew past it. I did not measure that on the downhill correctly at all. Oh well. Doesn't matter in this kind of scenario. I should have slowed it down a little more because I have lots of time. I have 2 minutes to make my stop. In fact, because of the panel at the station, I think I need to bring it down a little more. Otherwise, I get emergency brake if I'm past 12. So let's get it down to 12 miles per hour. There we go. I didn't want that much brake. Bring it off. Thank you. We're at 10. That'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. And actually put a little bit of throttle or regulator back on for a moment. I'm actually going to go full reverser again to do that. There we go. That'll do. So the platform we're pulling into is the one on the left. So we're going to take the junction track here. Not this one. It'll be this one. We do have time on this occasion to take the train back to the reverser. So, or not the reverser, to the buffer. To take the train to the reverser. Yeah, that's hard to do. So we're going to go ahead and let the train coast in. I can actually apply a little more power to bring it in. Going to go ahead and zoom in at another additional level to show you the buffer coming up here. But we can see on the HUD how far we're actually away from it. So we're not too concerned about this buffer right now, which you can see up there. I might get another alert about the double red up ahead. Maybe not, though, because it's the terminus, but I should. I would think I should. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop now. That's good enough. And there we go. Doors are open at London Victoria Platform 17. Let's look at our train. So if you're wondering why I said that was good enough, you may have noticed the time. I was actually slightly past the actual stop marker. For when I was supposed to stop. I'm hoping that I'm not going to be marked late based on that, because that does happen sometimes on this route. That guy clipped through me. How rude. So we'll see if that ends up happening. Maybe I'll be penalized here. Maybe I won't. Well done. You reached all of the stations on time and completed the rail tour successfully. I will say that I qualified then. That's a successful completion. Make sure you like the video again. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It is free. And obviously you can join the Discord and everything else. If you have something you want me to play, let me know and I'll see if I can fit it in. Hello, sir. So make sure you have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever it is for your part of the world. Stay tuned for next time. It'll be either Pegnitstoban or the 802. I haven't decided yet. I'll make a decision on that, and I'll let you know. In the meantime, I'll see you next time. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.